For remaining 80% current affairs video and general studies complete videos, please subscribe to our complete package. 4. Cabinet approves Rs 3,000 crore scheme for fisheries sector. What are the aims and objectives of the scheme? Give a brief introduction about Blue Revolution in India. What is the geographic base of Indian marine fisheries? What is the potential of Indian fisheries? What is the way forward for Indian fisheries? General Studies Paper 2 Government Policies and Interventions for Development in Fisheries Sectors. Why recently in news? Government on Tuesday approved an integrated scheme with an outlay of Rs 3,000 crore for the development and management of fisheries sector, as it seeks to bring blue revolution in the country. The central scheme will benefit the entire fisheries sector covering about 14.50 million fishers. It will be implemented in all the states and the union territories. Objectives of Umbrella Scheme Blue Revolution. The main objective of the scheme is to cover inland fisheries, aquaculture, marine fisheries including deep-sea fishing, mariculture and all activities undertaken by the National Fisheries Development Board, NFDB. It will lead to ushering in Blue Revolution through an integrated development and management of fisheries and aquaculture sector. Ensure sustained acceleration and intensification of fish production beyond the projected annual growth rate. The scheme aims at a focused and integrated approach for development and management of fisheries and aquaculture sector, to ensure a sustained annual growth rate of 6 to 8%, as against an overall annual growth rate of about 4%, in the 11th five-year plan period. The scheme would benefit the entire fisheries sector covering about 14.50 million fishers. The program would also benefit other stakeholders such as fish farmers, fisheries entrepreneurs, fish retailers, wholesalers, fish processors, fish exports and women groups. Besides the increase in fish production, the scheme would stimulate growth of the subsidiary and allied industries and growth of other related economic activities, especially in the coastal regions, leading to many direct and indirect benefits to the entire fisheries sector. Blue Revolution in India. Blue Revolution means the adoption of a package program to increase the production of fish and marine products. The Blue Revolution in India was started in 1970 during the fifth five-year plan, when the central government sponsored the Fish Farmers Development Agency, FFDA. Subsequently, the Brackish Water Fish Farms Development Agency was set up to develop aquaculture. The Blue Revolution has brought improvement in aquaculture by adopting new techniques of fish breeding, fish rearing, fish marketing, and fish export. Under the Blue Revolution program, there had been a tremendous increase in the production of shrimp. Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu have developed shrimp in a big way. The Nellore district of Andhra Pradesh is known as the shrimp capital of India. There are more than 1,800 species of fish found in the sea and inland waters of India, of which very few are commercially important. The important sea fish include catfish, herring, mackerels, perches, mullets, Indian salmon, shellfish, eels, anchovies, and crab. Similarly, the main freshwater fish include catfish, loaches, perches, eels, herrings, featherbacks, mullets, carps, prawns, murrels, and anchovies. Geographic base of Indian marine fisheries. India has over 8,000 kilometers of coastal line and nearly 2 million square km of exclusive economic zone (EEZ), and 500,000 square km of continental shelf and 3,937 fishing villages. Out of 180 deep-sea fishing vessels, only 60 are in operation at present. About 50% of the country's total fish production comes from the inland fisheries, including the freshwater fisheries like ponds, tanks, canals, rivers, reservoirs, and freshwater lakes. Marine fisheries contribute about 50% of the total fish production of the country. Kerala is the leading producer, followed by Maharashtra, Karnataka, Gujarat, and Goa. The fishing season extends from September to March. The higher fish production in the Arabian Sea is due to the broader continental shelf. The important fish varieties include sardines, mackerel, and prawn. The East Coast contributes about 28% of the total production of marine fish in the country. Indian fisheries potential. From above-mentioned marine resources, India has an estimated fisheries potential of 4.11 million tons. Similarly, 3.0 million hectares of reservoirs, 2.5 million hectares of ponds and tanks, 1.25 million hectares of brackish water area, cold water resources of hilly states, and all other inland fishery resources offer a production potential of about 15 million tons. Against this potential, the production from inland sector was 6.58 million tons during 2014-15. In this context, optimum utilization of resources becomes pivotal to achieve the targeted production. The way forward. India should enable an environment for an integrated and holistic development and management of fisheries. While doing so, we should keep an eye on sustainability, biosecurity, and environmental concerns. We should enhance fish production through aquaculture system diversification, species diversification, proper management, introduction of new and advanced technologies in both marine and inland sector, adoption of scientific practices and application of suitable fish health management strategies, etc. To make this happen, technology has to be brought to the doorstep of the user community. I urge fisheries scientists to promote the activities for capacity building and training of the fishermen. 5. SpaceX lands rocket after satellite launch. GS Paper 3, Science and Technology Developments and Their Applications. Why recently in news? US company SpaceX has successfully landed an unmanned rocket upright after sending 11 satellites into orbit. The Falcon 9 craft touched down about 10 kilometers from its launch pad at Cape Canaveral, Florida. The upgraded 23-story tall rocket took off from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, with the main stage returning about 10 minutes later to a landing site about 9.65 kilometers, 6 miles, south of the launch pad. Near the peak of its flight, at an altitude of some 200 kilometers, 125 miles, it propelled the rocket's second stage, laden with 11 communications satellites, into space. What are the significance of the reusable rocket? The ability of rockets to return to Earth, so they can be reused and reflown. This would hugely reduce companies' operational costs in the growing but highly competitive private space launch industry. SpaceX is aiming to revolutionize the rocket industry, which up until now has lost millions of dollars in discarded machinery and valuable rocket parts after each launch. About SpaceX. Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, SpaceX, is an American aerospace manufacturer and space transport services company with its headquarters in Hawthorne, California, USA. It was founded in 2002 by former PayPal entrepreneur and Tesla Motors CEO Elon Musk, with the goal of creating the technologies to reduce space transportation costs and enable the colonization of Mars. It has developed the Falcon 1 and Falcon 9 launch vehicles, both of which were designed from conception to eventually become reusable.